We banned somebody from our Discord last night, which is actually a fairly rare occurrence because normally when someone comes on our Discord, you can clearly see it's a place that's supportive of each other. We have places for creators to share what they're working on, to get feedback, to play test. When we play games together, we actually just have our Discord channel open. So even if it's competitive, both sides are on the same channel talking because we're just having fun. Like that's our thing. We play games together to have fun. There's people who've been on there for years who I am friends with, right? And we have a great moderator with Jet who just kind of helps keep everything going and it's smooth. And for the most part, we don't even get disruptive people on there because they could just see. But it was really weird because yesterday this guy came on and he insisted that you need to talk crap to other players while you play because you need to get inside their head. Like, hey, that's cool. That's what you want to go do that, right? And when people kind of said that to him, he said, you all live in a bubble. You don't know what the real world's like. And it's like, we're playing games, man. Like, have we gotten that weird in this world? We're just playing games. Like, we're hanging out, we're friends. Like, I will defend people on that channel. Like, we play together all the time. We have running jokes. We are friends with each other. Like, I consider them my friends. And to be like, oh no, you have to have evil and bad in here. You have to have disruptive people. You have to have swearing. You have to have not swearing. I don't care about swearing. But you have to be putting somebody down. You have to be tearing somebody apart because that's the only way that it's real, man. Like, you don't. You don't. Like, I've been accused of like, hey, you live in Seattle, you live in a bubble. So I live in a place where, like, on our community picnic or a community weekend, Mudhoney played one time, right? Eddie Vedder used to live down the other dead end from me. Now he lives like a quarter mile away. Like, it's a hippie, old Seattle, laid back place. And what's wrong with that? That's our choice, right? Like, you don't need to have ugliness. And it's funny because I consider comments also community, and that's why I will moderate. And so, like, I posted that thing on Tim Walls on TikTok and YouTube. On TikTok, it's going to probably hit up to 100,000 views. It is just a love fest of people talking about humanity, about their pets, about the interaction with other people. Like, it's an honest discussion about, like, hey, I miss this in politics. And someone even saying, like, they had an interaction with George W. Bush, who they totally disagree with politically, but he was human to their brother and how much that meant to them, right? And, like, that's an interesting discussion, and that is a positive discussion. I posted the same thing on YouTube. You'll see there's like one comment because I had to delete a bunch. From me being a bundle of sticks to Kamala Harris sleeping her way to the top. Like, you can instantly see these memes. I honestly don't know if they're just bots because they will just come in multiples with the same exact wording, and then instantly there's more than one person liked it. Like, rarely, my channel is really small on YouTube and it's not that active, so you don't normally have a bunch of people liking a post. But anything that's super negative or super right wing always has multiple likes to it instantly. The second it's posted, I can sit there and watch, and then instantly it's posted. And so it's like, it feels dishonest. And then with that, to the point of my discussion the other day about, like, trust, is I don't have trust in the communication on YouTube. I don't engage a lot on there. Often I'll start responding and I'll be like, you're not a real account, or you're being disingenuous. Of someone being like, steel man Trump for me. Like, no, I'm not going to have this fake interaction with you where I have to say nice things about somebody that I dislike. That isn't how the world works. Like, you don't have to have that world. And that comment yesterday just really rang true with me on that. And that's like, so on YouTube, there's a bunch of nice people on there as well. But, like, I can look at my demographics. I can look at my stats. And on TikTok, I skew older. On Discord, we're older. On Blue Sky, way much older, even though this is more anecdotal, and way more professionals there because we have a lot more kind of how we discuss things. Like, if I talk about, like, banning somebody, it's about them and running their communities, not just being the kind of the end result of those communities. And so YouTube is the place where it skews way younger and way more Eastern Europe. And you can see when Eastern Europe wakes up because you will see this wave of just hate come on to the channel. Not on all videos, to be clear, but, like, if it's anything political, if it's anything talking about Kamala Harris, this has been like eye-opening this past week of just how quickly, and the memes make no sense because it's always like, I'll be like, hey, just let me know what your disagreement is. I would love to have this discussion with you if you're having an honest discussion. Because I'm like, The Economist, which is a very conservative magazine, has come out and said that they would vote, that they endorse Kamala Harris. Financial Times has had an article about how great the economy is doing. Like, even Fox News has had positive things about the economy because it's doing really well. And when you tell me like, oh no, inflation isn't worldwide or something like that, I know you're not being honest about this because A, it is, and like, or that Kamala Harris is being installed. That's my favorite. Like, there's an election going on right now. How does that work? Like, I really wish Schoolhouse Rock would come back because it was geared for like fourth graders on civics. And I think our nation needs to revisit that so they can understand how political parties are private institutions and they can choose how to act the way they want. But when you run then for the open office, that is an election. That's when we actually do the electing. But like, it is just night and day between the communities. And so I'm going to post this both on YouTube and TikTok. And this isn't an attack on YouTube or the people there, because there's a bunch of really great people. And man, if I have a question on my PC and running it, that is the place to go. There's a bunch of good conversations about TF2 and like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I really like about that community. But I engage less because I don't have that trust that the engagement is honest. Where if somebody asks me a question, like when someone asked me about Palestine on TikTok, I responded because that person asked in earnest of like, hey, but what about this? Well, how are you thinking about this with this election? And so then I posted a reply to that because I will have that honest back and forth if you were being honest to me. And so it is just this weird thing. It's like, this is why I stopped making YouTube first and now I make TikTok first, because the community on YouTube is just so much more raucous. And I can't pronounce words. Leave me alone. But like, I wished it was a better community there because it is a different group and I like to learn from different groups and you learn by interacting and listening. But when you just throw memes at me or call me names, we don't learn anything and we don't have an interaction. And so like all of this, and I've said this before, is I hate making these videos, but I like making these videos because I'm not in the office anymore. I'm not with a group of people anymore. And I like having that interaction because even when I disagree with somebody, if it's an honest disagreement, I learn something from that disagreement. But when it's not, I don't learn anything. And so going back to the original point of the banning the person of the Discord, I'm not going to learn anything from somebody who says you need to have violent communication inside of your space. It's okay to wall off and say, hey, this is just a safe place where we have friends and we play games together and we know when somebody says something, they're saying it with good intention, they're saying it with fun. Like, I would say the one exception would be Bandelp. Bandelp does cheat. He's a horrible person. I hope tonight when we play for his charity stream that I am on the opposite team from him and I kill him continuously. But sans that, like, the community works because we police it and make sure that we don't allow that disruption. We don't allow people who treat people like objects or memes or something like that. So it bums me out when we have this communication breakdown, because it seems like everything is just so heightened right now and everything has to be so in your face and everything. I mean, I got told I love genocide because I like Microsoft Windows over Linux. Like, man, it's just exhausting. So hopefully things settle down some, but like, I'm going to keep the community that I want to have. And so that means on TikTok, you get banned. On YouTube, you get where nobody on channel hears you and you just scream at me, which is funny because sometimes, like on a political video, I'll see just a bunch of negative votes and no views, which means it's those accounts. I don't care. So, yeah. That said, we are doing a charity stream tonight. It'll be up on YouTube. Come join us, or maybe I think I'm gonna push people to their Twitch stream, and I won't be streaming myself. But come hang out.